Hello everybody, today in this video I will be reviewing 2021. Since it is now 2022, Happy New Year's guys by the way, I am going to review 2021 as it is the best year I have ever lived in my entire life. And I cannot wait for 2022 and what will come. But before we can look into the future, let's look in the past and see what I accomplished in 2021. But before I get into it, if you're new here and you like what I post, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helped me out a lot on my journey to 500 subscribers and keep on motivating me to make more videos. Speaking of making more videos, I am running out of ranking video ideas, so if you guys have any ranking video ideas like top 10s, top 5s you'd like me to do, please comment them down below because I am running out of those and I would like to do those every week. But if you also have any other general video ideas, comment them down below too. Although I do have plenty of those, but I do appreciate it. Also guys, I have a really big announcement. This is huge. I now have a Discord server, Great Bear Productions Discord. You can find the invite link down below in the video, and you can also find it on the about page, the about section on my channel. So if you want to join that, click the link down below or on the about section of my channel and you can join. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. So let's start at the beginning of the year. So in the beginning of 2021, I had 13 credits, which is kind of cool. I picked up 20 new credits this year, meaning I now have 33 credits ending out 2021. Out of the 33 credits, 7 of those are wooden coasters, 2 of them are hybrids, and 24 of them are steel coasters. And the first new credit I got this year was the Rocky Top Mountain Coaster in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This is a really fun ride, and it was really fun getting back on roller coasters again. It had been like almost 2 years since I've been on a roller coaster, so getting back on a roller coaster is really nice, especially an alpine coaster, because this was the first and only alpine coaster I've ever been on. So that's really nice. And the last new credit that I got this year was, I believe, Little Dipper at Camden Park. This is a nice kiddie coaster, really not much to say here, but yeah. Out of those 20 credits, there were a lot of surprises, and there are also a lot of letdowns. Definitely the biggest letdown of this year was Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. I was going into this ride with really high expectations, and how could I not? It's a premier ride shuttle coaster, intense positive G-forces, inverted top hat, a really cool levitating spike thing. Like, it looks really cool. But the ride, it was just too much for me. I had a really bad ride on it. The overbank turn was a little bit rough, and yeah, I just didn't enjoy this ride as much as I really wanted to. And my biggest surprise of this year, without a doubt, is Big Dipper at Camden Park. This ride blew me away. This thing is sketchy as, like, it's the sketchiest coaster I've ever seen in my life. I thought it was not going to be that great. It was going to be good for what it was, but just not a good ride. But it is the best wooden coaster I have been on to date. Yeah, so ending out 2021, Big Dipper is like my number one wooden coaster, you could say. My favorite is still Comet, but this is definitely the best I have been on. So with picking up 20 new credits this year, I have also cycled through a lot of number one roller coasters. At the beginning of 2021, my number one coaster was Lightning Racer. Of course, with 13 credits, there isn't really a lot of coasters that can be my number one, and Lightning Racer was my favorite. Of course, my number one roller coaster now is Sky Rush. This ride is an intense ejector machine. Great air time, great lateral forces, great positive forces, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me say a bunch of stuff about this coaster throughout this channel a bunch of times. But that also means that there have been some bad coasters that I have been on. The worst coaster I had been on at the beginning of 2021 was Wild Mouse. And, you know, it's just a jerky ride. It jerks you back and forth. The laterals are pretty good, but it's just, it just bangs me around a lot, and I don't really like this ride much. It's okay to ride every once in a while, but a coaster that is not okay to ride every once in a while, which is now my worst coaster, now at 2021, or I guess beginning of 2022, is Sidewinder, which is going to be called something different soon, but we just don't know what it is yet. For now, it's called Sidewinder. Anyways, Sidewinder is the roughest coaster I've ever been on. It is the worst coaster I've ever been on. Very rough. I'm very glad it has vest restraints, because if it had over-the-shoulder restraints, I don't even know how much worse this ride could be. This ride would be a lot worse, actually, yeah. And out of those 33 credits, the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster I have been on is Titan at Six Flags Over Texas. This coaster has the stats. It also has a good ride experience. I don't really care what people say about this ride, whether it's good or bad. I think it's a good ride, and that's just all that matters, is my opinion. If I like the ride, I like the ride. The ride's fun. It has really good positive G-forces. It has a really good floater airtime moment, but that's just all this ride has, is positive G-forces. But that's all it needs. Like, it doesn't need more airtime because that's not the type of ride it is. I really appreciate Titan, and I think more people should be talking about it. But with all the B&M hypers in the world, I can also understand why people aren't talking about it, honestly. So with all of those coasters, I have also been to a couple of parks. I have been to, of course, Hersheypark. This is actually the first year of being a season pass holder at Hersheypark, and yes, I did get season passes for 2022. I have also been to Six Flags Over Texas once in June, and I went to Camden Park in Huntington, West Virginia, in the end of September. So that's where I got some new credits from. The only new park that I went to this year was Camden Park. I actually have been to Six Flags Over Texas before in 2020, but this was the year where I actually rode stuff. Now let's talk about some of my firsts, if that makes any sense. I did a lot of first things this year. Of course, my first B&M was Great Bear, and also the first coaster. Great Bear was also the first coaster where I rode under the tracks, my first B&M invert, or my first suspended coaster, you could say. I also rode my first hyper coaster this year, being Candemonium. That ride was really fun, as I first remember it. That drop, I remember when I first rode it, I remember the drop lasted for so long. It was so great. My first vertical lift roller coaster was Fahrenheit, and Fahrenheit was also my first beyond vertical drop roller coaster, so that's awesome. I also rode my first and only RMC this year, being New Texas Giant. I rode my first ever launch coaster this year, being Mr. Freeze. I rode my first ever spinning coaster this year, being Laugh Track. And Laugh Track was also my first roller coaster I experienced going backwards, and my first ever indoor coaster. And lastly, Sky Rush was my first ever wing coaster. So yeah, this year was definitely a big year for me, and especially because this is the year I overcame my fear of roller coasters. April 23rd, 2021 is the day I'll never forget. And I have no one else to thank but God, really. I prayed every single night since the beginning of the year that I would overcome my fear of roller coasters, and I would ride Great Bear, because Great Bear was the roller coaster I wanted to ride for a long time, but I never did. So I prayed every night. I'd ride Great Bear. I'd overcome my fear of roller coasters, and God really just helped me through that. So I have no one else to thank but him, of course. Thank my dad. He kind of talked to me on the car ride there. And I also kind of have to thank Great Bear. Great Bear is just a fun ride overall, but yeah. This is also the year that I started YouTube. I started, I think, 7 months ago. Yeah, I started on May 3rd. I now, as of the date of this recording, which is December 31st, I have 323 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. That is a lot of people. It may not seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, especially now with people having 1 million subscribers, but I can't fit 300 people in my backyard. Like, imagine 300 people standing out in front of you right now. That's how many people watch me, and that's just mind-boggling to me. I can't thank you guys enough for that. So here's to 2021, and what a great year it was. Can't wait for 2022. Again, if you're new here and you like what I post, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helped me out a lot, my journey to 500 and eventually 1,000 subscribers. If you like the video, drop a like down below and comment down below your highlights of your 2021. Also, links in the description for the Discord server. I just launched it. I hope you guys enjoy it and like it and everything. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you all later. Bye.